Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, something so ordinary that millions passed it by without a second thought. Yet beneath that humble surface hides a secret so rare, it could change your life forever. 3 coins, 3 stories, and 3 unimaginable fortunes waiting to be revealed. These are not treasures locked in dusty museums. They are out there in circulation, tucked away in drawers, hidden in old jars, or resting quietly in a forgotten collection, each one holding the power to turn a simple penny into a millionaire's dream. Today we uncover the mystery behind 3 extraordinary Lincoln Wheat Pennies, each with a tale that will leave you questioning every coin you've ever held, each with a hidden past, a twist of minting magic, and a market value that will make your heart race. From post-war America to mid-century minting errors, these coins bridge history and fortune. Stay with me to the very end, because by the time we finish, you might just find yourself searching every penny you own. Welcome to Coin Value Guide, the place where small change tells the biggest stories in the world. The year is 1946. America stands tall after the end of World War II. The nation rebuilds, families return to peace, and factories roar back to life. Among the millions of coins minted that year, one small copper penny would emerge as an icon of mystery. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, named for its reverse design that features 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. A tribute to the spirit of growth and prosperity. At first glance, it looks like any other coin, a simple cent made from copper alloy. But beneath its plain surface hides a secret known to only a few collectors. And that secret has transformed this penny into a coin worth up to $4 million. Now let's understand why. Every coin has a story, but this one is wrapped in numismatic magic. In 1943, during the war, pennies were struck in steel due to copper shortages. By 1946, copper returned to minting, but a few leftover planchets from the previous years created unexpected variations. Experts believe that some 1946 cents were struck using slightly different copper-zinc mixtures, giving them a distinct tone, weight, and luster. These tiny differences caught the attention of collectors decades later, when coin grading evolved into a science. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC examined these coins under microscopic precision, revealing minting errors so subtle that only trained eyes could detect them. Some examples show doubled dies, others display off-center strikes or die cracks, and these imperfections, rather than flaws, became marks of fortune. In the world of numismatics, rarity is everything, and condition defines value. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin, and the more collectors are willing to pay. According to PCGS population reports, fewer than a handful of 1946 Lincoln Wheat Pennies have ever achieved grades above MS67 in red condition. These are coins that appear almost flawless, with their original luster shining like a newly minted cent, the surfaces untouched by circulation. Imagine finding one like that in a roll of pennies, or in an old jar of change from your grandparents. The thrill of discovery would be electric. Collectors who sent such coins for professional grading have seen them return with valuations soaring past $4 million at high-end auctions. The 1946 wheat penny measures about 19 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of 1.5 millimeters and a weight of around 3.11 grams. Made primarily of copper with traces of tin and zinc, its composition gives it that warm, reddish tone beloved by collectors. Over time, natural oxidation can darken it, but those preserved in mint state still gleam with history. If you hold one that looks pristine, check for a Denver or San Francisco mint mark under the date. The D or S adds to its identity, though some rare no-mint mark coins from Philadelphia hold even greater intrigue. Now comes the suspenseful part. Where could you sell a coin like this if you believe you found one that fits the description? Never rush to sell it online to random buyers. The right path is to have it authenticated first. Send it to PCGS or NGC for grading and encapsulation. Once certified, you can safely list it with trusted auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These are the marketplaces where serious collectors gather, and where million-dollar bids rise in quiet rooms filled with gasps and whispers. Or you can approach platforms like Great Collections or even eBay's Authenticity Guarantee section. For coins, collectors love stories, so always share the history of how you found it. Maybe it came from a box of pennies your grandfather kept. Maybe it sat unnoticed in a collection for decades. That story adds value, authenticity, and emotion. In numismatics, provenance matters. It turns a coin from an object into a time capsule. And now, as we move deeper into the world of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, prepare yourself, because the next coin on our list carries an even greater twist, one that became famous for a minting mistake that shook the entire numismatic community. Stay right where you are, because the second coin story is about to change everything you thought you knew about pennies. As we move forward from the mystery of the 1946 cent, the numismatic journey takes a thrilling turn. The year is 1955. America hums with post-war prosperity. Rock and roll begins to rise, and the U.S. Mint in Denver is busy producing millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, each meant to look identical, each carrying the same familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and those classic wheat ears on the reverse. But hidden among them, a small number were struck with a mistake so strange that it turned ordinary cents into priceless treasures. This is the story of the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that would go down in history as one of the most famous and most desired mint errors ever created. A coin that can command as much as $8 million when found in perfect condition. Collectors and experts alike often refer to the 1955 wheat penny as the king of double dies. Though the Philadelphia Mint version is the most famous, the Denver-struck pieces have their own rarity that makes them incredibly sought after. This particular variation occurred when two impressions on the coin's die were slightly misaligned, causing the inscriptions and the date to appear doubled to the naked eye. It's mesmerizing. To a trained collector, it's a heartbeat racing moment. The word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1955 appear shadowed, almost trembling as if caught between two moments in time. This visual quirk transformed a small minting mishap into one of the most legendary coins in numismatic history. When you look at one of these rare pieces, you are looking at the result of a once-in-a-lifetime minting accident. In 1955, minting technology lacked the automated error detection of today, meaning mistakes could slip through undetected. While thousands of normal pennies flowed into circulation, a few hundred of these double-struck Denver coins made it out, their distinct error unnoticed by most people handling change, and yet, the handful that survived became the crown jewels of collectors everywhere. The coin's specifications remained faithful to the wheat penny design, 19 millimeters in diameter, 1.5 millimeters in thickness, and weighing about 3.11 grams, composed mostly of copper with a blend of tin and zinc. But what gives it power isn't its metal, it's the story. Because every 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny tells a story of imperfection turned to greatness. In a world where machines strive for precision, it was the error, the human touch, that made this coin priceless in the numismatic world. Rarity is the heartbeat of value, and grading is the voice that speaks it into existence. A coin like this, authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC at an MS67 or MS68 red designation, can ignite fierce bidding wars. These grades mean the coin shows full original mint luster with no wear, only microscopic imperfections under magnification. Collectors crave these top-graded examples because they combine rarity with perfection. And when you merge those two forces, the price ascends into the millions. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers have witnessed jaw-dropping moments when collectors realize a 1955 doubled die cent is up for bid. Hearts race, hands tremble, bids escalate, and before long, the once-forgotten penny becomes a legend reborn. An example sold privately for more than $8 million, not because of gold or silver, but because of its story, its mistake, its identity, and its proof that imperfection can be beautiful. But how do you know if you might have one? Start by checking your old penny rolls, your childhood coin albums, or even coins tucked in the corners of old furniture. Examine the date carefully under light. The doubling effect on the 1955 is visible even without magnification. If you see shadowed letters on the motto or the date looks layered, you may be holding something extraordinary. Next step, never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys its natural patina and can drop its grade drastically. Keep it untouched. Place it in a soft flip and send it for professional grading to PCGS or NGC. Once certified, you have proof that collectors recognize, and that is where the true market opens. Collectors value authenticity and provenance. So when selling, always include documentation. The right selling places are reputable numismatic auctions or coin shows where experts and buyers gather. Great collections, eBay's Verified Collectibles program, or local coin conventions in cities like Chicago or Dallas are great starting points. Remember, patience and authenticity bring value. Quick sales to unverified buyers risk losing fortunes. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny symbolizes something powerful, that even mistakes can become masterpieces. It reminds us that history is full of moments when something unintended became legendary. And for coin enthusiasts, it's a living bridge between artistry, history, and chance, but the story doesn't end here. Because the next coin, the final piece of our journey, takes the idea of rarity to an entirely new level. This coin not only carries beauty and history, but an astronomical value that shattered expectations. If you thought $4 million or even $8 million was astonishing, prepare yourself for what comes next. A coin so rare and so coveted that its very mention sends waves of awe through collector circles. Stay with me as we reveal the legendary 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin valued at an unbelievable $13 million. The year is 1956, a time of optimism and transformation. Elvis Presley rules the radio. America races into the space age, and the Lincoln Wheat Penny nears the end of its era, soon to be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. But in that very year, something remarkable happened. Deep inside the U.S. Mint, among billions of perfectly ordinary copper cents, a few rare pieces emerged that would become the stuff of legend. These coins, known to a select few collectors, would later rise to astonishing fame. One of them commanding a value beyond imagination, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin so extraordinary that its worth is now measured at over $13 million. At first glance, it looks simple, familiar, unassuming. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln gazes forward, calm and steady, the words, "In God we trust," arch above, liberty to the left, the date 1956 to the right, and on the reverse side, the two wheat stalks stand tall like symbols of hope, encasing the proud words 1 cent and United States of America. To most people, it's just a penny, but to those who know, it's a masterpiece of minting rarity, the culmination of subtle imperfections, incredible preservation, and decades of mystery surrounding its survival. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny's specifications are similar to its predecessors, 19 millimeters in diameter, 1.5 millimeters thick, and weighing about 311 grams, made of a copper alloy containing small amounts of tin and zinc. What sets the legendary specimens apart are their condition, color, and minting anomalies. Among the billions of 1956 coins struck, a minuscule number emerged with extraordinary detail and uncirculated brilliance. Some experts believe that a few were test strikes or specially handled presentation coins never intended for circulation. These pieces maintained their pristine red luster, untouched by time, untouched by human hands, a perfect embodiment of what collectors call full red mint state, the most desired color grade a Lincoln cent can achieve. According to PCGS and NGC population reports, fewer than a handful of 1956 cents have achieved grades above MS68 in full red condition. The population rarity is almost mythical. At that level of perfection, you're not just collecting a coin, you're holding an artifact of American craftsmanship frozen in time. Auction houses treat such examples like royal treasures, and collectors from across the world battle fiercely to own them. During one private transaction, an immaculate 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny graded MS68+, red, reportedly sold for more than $13 million, a record that stunned even the most seasoned numismatists. But why does this coin command such power? The answer lies not only in its beauty but also in its timing. 1956 marked the final stretch of the wheat design, before it was replaced by the memorial reverse in 1959, symbolizing the end of an era that began in 1909. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had carried America through 2 world wars, a depression and a rebirth. So the coins of its final years hold deep emotional value, combining nostalgia with rarity, a formula that turns collectors into competitors and prices into legends. Condition, as always, is everything. Numismatists describe this with technical precision. Using the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, anything above 65 represents near perfection, and grades of 67 or higher push value into the stratosphere. Every minor scratch, every blemish, every whisper of toning can shift a coin's worth by thousands or millions. The art of grading is both science and intuition, and institutions like PCGS and NGC safeguard that trust. If you believe you have a 1956 wheat penny in superb condition, always send it for professional grading before even thinking of selling. The encapsulation process gives it certification, a unique serial number, and authentication that serious buyers demand now. How do you sell such a treasure? The path is delicate and must be approached with care once graded. You can reach out to major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or even private sales through Great Collections. These platforms bring together elite collectors who understand the magnitude of coins like this. You can also explore top-tier coin shows across the United States, like the Fun Show in Florida or the Long Beach Expo in California, where dealers and numismatists converge. The energy in those rooms is electric, and when a coin like the 1956 cent appears, the crowd goes silent. Everyone knows they're witnessing history. But not every valuable coin must go straight to auction. Sometimes the smartest move is to hold it. Coins of this rarity appreciate over time, especially those with certified grades and historical significance. Just as fine art grows in value, so too does a flawless wheat penny. With demand for such high-grade pieces always outpacing supply, your coin can become a long-term investment, a piece of generational wealth. Collectors often say that each coin has a voice. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny speaks softly but powerfully. It whispers stories of craftsmanship, patience, and preservation, of a world that appreciated the smallest details, and of collectors who understand that history can live inside copper. Finding one is like discovering buried treasure, but knowing its story is what makes it priceless. Now, let's tie the journey together. We began with the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a $4 million marvel born from post-war transition. Then the 1955 D Wheat Penny, an $8 million masterpiece born from error, and now the 1956, a $13 million legend born from perfection. Together they represent the three pillars of numismatics: history, rarity, and condition. These coins remind us that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable worth, that within the world of pennies lies the heart of America's story itself. So if you've been watching this far, remember, check every penny that passes through your hands, every roll, every jar, every forgotten drawer could be hiding the next great discovery. And when you do, don't forget where you learned their secrets. Here at Coin Value Guide, where every coin tells a story of fortune and history intertwined. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare Lincoln Wheat Pennies, make sure to like this video, leave a comment sharing which coin amazed you most, and subscribe to Coin Value Guide for more breathtaking discoveries of rare coins and valuable currency from around the world. And if this story inspired you or helped you see the hidden treasures in your pocket change, consider sending a super thanks to support the channel. Your support keeps these incredible stories alive, and who knows, your next coin might just be worth a fortune waiting to be discovered.